2, 1. We're not organised tonight. That's better. How are we all doing? Share it out. Put the magic touch on. Make me look younger. Very good evening, everyone. You can switch the camera off. And we're back. Good evening. Let's do it like a podcast. You can't see me, but you can hear me. We could do with that thing where you, when you get the graphics in the thing, so the voice comes through, but not the, you know what I mean, like the voice thingy graphics. Good evening, two persons. Share it out if you want to. If you the thumbs up, it actually gets more people in, which is fabulous. Who we got in? Say hello if you want to mention. Let's see who we've got. I suppose the answer to that is absolutely no one. I just don't seem to be lined up at all. Let's move things about and then I'll put the camera on. Hang on 1 second. The podcast idea didn't really take off, did it? There we go. How are we doing? It's a bit colour washed, isn't it? That. Anyway, 11:30 on a Thursday. Thursday, the, what is it, 28th, 29th of January. Where did January go? Pay weekend. Hopefully, we're going to get a few people about. I've had full service on the car, so we're all ready. Can't wait to get going. Hopefully, we'll get somebody to talk to. Otherwise, I'm going to end up talking to myself. Good evening, two persons. How you doing? Nice to see you. Sorry, I was just in makeup. That's why I didn't put the camera on before. If that's you coming back, if you believe that, you believe anything. John Paul Glasgow. Good evening. Hopefully the audio is good. Got the mic mini set up with the DJI receiver on the microphone with the pop filter, so it should be coming through all right. I've turned it down a little bit in the settings, so you shouldn't get any echoing coming through from this room. 4 persons. Nice to see you all. So if you want to speak in the chat, it always makes the stream go a lot better for having a conversation rather than me just jabbering on about my day and not taking into consideration your day. I'm a bit tired tonight, to be honest. So yesterday, went out bike riding. I did quite a few kilometres yesterday. I actually did a live stream while I was doing it, which I found that was quite good. Loads of people watched it. We did have one person in there putting the N-word in while I wasn't watching. That's not very nice. Timmy, if you're there. I watched it back later just to see what it came out like, but it was really clear. That was on Orange or EE 5G. So it worked a treat. I've got me the wrong specs on. I'm staring. I've got to do this. It always gives you that surprise look. Do it. Hang on, I'll put my reading glasses on. There we go. Audio is fine. So your vid today. Oh, saw your vid today. Yeah, it was good. Reese Jensen, how you doing? Nice to see you. Big twin, Joe Rogan. Nope, sadly not. I wish I had his car collection, I'll be honest. Jackie, how you doing? Good evening, my English friend. And good evening to you, sir. Good morning to you, because you must be at least an hour in front if you're in Poland. Are you in Poland? Or were you in the UK or was you in Poland? Is it an hour or is it 2 hours in Poland? When as soon as I see taxi, I think taxi. Are you a cab driver as well? Nice to see you anyway, Tacky. Good to see you. But your name's not Tacky, is it? What was it? Without going back over the other stream, I can't think. I've got a terrible memory. I'm going to write it down. Joe Rogan, bloody hell, eh? Is everybody what's bald Joe Rogan? I don't think Joe Rogan even wears glasses. Oh, just 1 hour difference. So you're, oh yeah, happy Friday to you. What was your name? Just remind me of your name. I might have to ask you every time you come in, not because I've just got this bloody thing I can't remember people's names. So what sort of day have you had? Is it cold in Poland at the moment? We've had one of them days. Took the car for a service. It needed a couple of tyres and tracking up. So I took it for tracking up. Took absolutely ages because the track ends were the nuts were seized on the tracking bar. So it took absolutely ages. Mick, get your knob out. Thank you very much, Elijah man. No, I'm not thinking of doing that. You do it. You do it in your own thing. Joe Rogan is not a vaping god. I'll tell you what, it's got a really cool voice though. I hope I can pull that voice off. But I think if you've got a sound man and a really expensive microphone, I always like Howard Stern's voice, but I'm not sure if it's his voice or is it the microphone setup. I presume it's the microphone setup. If you spend a lot of money on a sound engineer and a really expensive mic, you're always going to sound good, aren't you? We're on a 40 quid setup here, apart from the iPhone, but it's got some amazing cars. I was watching something where it had this classic American car, and it was worth thousands upon thousands, hundreds of thousands. He'd had it done to his specification. I don't know if they ever drive them or whether they're just investments still in the garage, but it was lovely. Elijah Mann. I'm sure that's not your actual photo. You can't really see him. It looks like. What should we do to him then? Should we pin the message? Go on, we'll pin the message. let's go up. Let's go the opposite. Let's not throw them out. Let's pin the messages. Probably get a strike for racism. Yeah, he is. Yeah. Well, this microphone was 27 quid and the receiver was 14. And the actual handler that goes in is about 16 quid, something like that. But that's the only thing with a microphone. The nearer you can get it to your mouth with the audio set at the correct level, then the best you're going to get, because you're not going to get the echo from the room. That's the only thing with this place. Obviously, it's a kitchen, so it's got wooden floor, wooden thing and tiles and all that sort of thing. It's like your worst nightmare. Hey, Timmy, I spotted your N-word yesterday, even though you spelt it out really long like that. Terrible bad behaviour that was. I was going to make you a moderator, but I can't now for that. That's it. It was I don't know. We need to adapt the. I need to get somewhere so I can. Oh, is that what you put, Nigeria? All right. I'll have to go back over it and just have a look. I need to get the phone as high as this on the handlebars, but it looked pretty weird riding around with it 6 foot off the handlebars. That really, and could obviously turn into some sort of weapon if I fell off the bike. But it went well. There was 480 people watched that stream, not all at once, sadly, but 480 people, and there were some lovely comments in there. I think I got the audio set about right as well, because you couldn't hear that too much even. That's why I look back at it, to be honest, to see, because on the videos I'm getting too much sort of sounds like an asthmatic duck. So I probably just need to turn the microphone down. I know I'm going to unpin that message. It's getting on my nerves already. The Oracle of All, Tamara Gabriel, who's pretty good at what she does. She reviews a lot of DJI stuff, and she said if you set the microphone to -5, and then if it's too quiet, you up it in asthmatic. Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, that's it. Sadly, I missed the live. Like an asthmatic. I didn't think it was too bad, but the videos. That's the thing. You've got to breathe in, haven't you? Really. and I suppose I'm a 60-year-old guy, and I'm pretty, or very nearly 60 years old, and I'm getting, I'm still pretty new to it. It's only about probably the 6th time I've been out on it. My distances are getting fairly high. When I got home yesterday, here's a Q&A for you. I'm not putting the sticker up. Weird habit you didn't know you had. I bet you've got a few of them, Timmy. I know John Paul Glasgow has, definitely. It's got some strange habits. The only trouble is if you pin that, you can't get rid of it. It just seems to stay for ages. What was I on about? Yeah, Tamara Gabriel said if you turn it down to -5 and then turn it up in post if you need to. Sadly, the underpass was flooded. It was, yeah. I went back through there today because I went back to pick the car up, so I went back the other way, and I was going to do a live stream on the way back. But I thought it weren't really worth the effort to setting it up because there was only... there's one bit where you go up like that, but it's only more like that. And then when you get to that, you don't really need to... It gets a little bit like that, just for about 50 yards, and then it goes that way. So technically, you'd never have to pedal again all the way down to where I was going to. And the whole journey only took about 15 minutes, so I thought by the time I'd gone live and done a thumbnail and buggered about, it wasn't really worth the hassle. So I sacked it off. But I'm definitely going to do one on Monday, I think, depending on weather, obviously. Because that's the trouble at this time of year. It can go from a reasonably nice day one day to back to awful weather the next. So I'm using this was the best quality bit from this. It's got what it is. It's from TikTok. It's just a stand like that. It's just a stand. It stands up like that. It's got the MagSafe thing on there. You just click it on. When I bought it, the bottom of it was concave like that, so it was just wobbling about. So I went on to... They're really uncomfortable, them glasses now. I went on to Amazon and bought some extended feet to go on the bottom of it, so that's the only way it's any good. But other than that, it'd have been a complete waste of money. But when I only paid £8 of it, to send it back would probably cost £7, so it was a bit pointless. Yeah, that underpass. Yeah, they always flood out, obviously, because they're behind, underneath the road, and that's the grassed area just there, so it all gets wet, and then it just floods them out. But the set of the scene of every drama, aren't they? When you see like Harry Brown and stuff like that, any underpasses are always in films are set as a scene for violence and feral youths to hang around it. We just get graffiti in ours. They're really uncomfortable, though. I might have to put that down a bit. That'll probably be easier, and then I'll be able to read the chat. There we go. The phone's too high. I can see the bloody thing now. Go down a little bit more. I think we'll cope with that. But anyway, the overpass was all right, but it just took 20 minutes for the traffic lights to change, and you wouldn't want to toddle across in front of all them cars on that dual carriageway, would you? So what have we all been up to today? Everybody working? No worky? I had a reasonable day. I didn't really get started there till 4:30, because I went in to have it tracked up, and they couldn't get the bloody nuts off to track it up. So by the time they're done, it was about 4:30 when I got going, and I thought, well, today's going to be a dead loss, but I've pulled it round in the end, so I've just finished at 11 o'clock. Last one was 11 o'clock. Is anybody that's not from the area? I think there was a few people on that stream yesterday that have been from the area. Because there's one or two saying, as we went up past Marshall's Yard, that was the old Marshall's Tractor Works. And like they do with a lot of places, they knock them about and then turn them into a shopping centre. And there's the old police station just on the left-hand side called the Old Nick. Apparently there's a museum in there. But I went in there once after it was a police station because a company called Northern Components took it over as their offices. But it's still got the old cells in there. So, but they call it the Old Nick Theatre. So they do all sorts of things in there. So you drop something. Venom Cecil. Go on then, what did I drop? Hit me with it. would like to kiss the top of your head. All right. I've just realised you've already been trying to chat me up. Why is my lack of hair so interesting? That's what I need to know. Everybody's got a bald head. Just some people choose to cover it up. I would love to kiss the top of your head. If you're female, you're more than welcome. But I'd do it on a shower day because the only trouble is with bald heads, they're just the same as people with hair. When you get greasy hair, I get a greasy head. So if you're going to kiss somebody with a bald head, always make sure it's not shining. Nice glasses, yeah. These were all the way from that renowned optician to the stars, Specsavers. There you go, you heard it here first. These aren't Vaping God sunglasses, but these are actually prescription sunglasses. I've got them nice and big so I can wear them on aeroplanes and people will think I'm famous. Look at them bad boys. The middle of your head's like a park. As you know, I'd love to be bald. Less hassle it is, yeah. I tried everything, but nothing worked. I don't know what you could actually do. I think you've got to embrace it, really. You've got to embrace life as it comes to you. Obviously, you're Mr. Happy don't get as tall as he used to be. Your wife doesn't smile as much as she used to do. Oh, let me have a think. When you walk up a hill, oh, you're 26. Oh, Mr. Happy should be all right for you then. You should still be doing all right in that department. At 26 years old, though, it's a sign of virility. You might be rubbing it off on the headboard. That's what's happening. Well, I think, I've had short hair since I was 22, I think. I just chose to I didn't have it shaved off like I do now, but for a long time I had a flat top because you've got to think I'm nearly 60, so it was 40 years ago, and I had a flat top. I thought it was really cool. And then I went once, my wife says, you're going to stop having a flat top. I said, why is that? She said it went out of fashion about 5 years ago. So I thought, oh, well, I'll just have it sort of grade 3, something like that, grade 2, grade 3. And then I went down to grade 1. And then in the end, I stopped putting the thing on, just did it with the blade. And then I went on holiday and I forgot to take the graders. I took the charger and didn't take the graders. So I just used I went chin, head, done. I can still, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but if I grew hair, it would be fairly thinning on top. I think we're about to there. There's still a bit there, but there's still fairly, but I'd be the same, massive wide parting. There's nothing here at all from there. So I ended up like looking like some old 60s horror movie, wouldn't I? Shane, I've shaved mine since 12 years old, as short as possible. Oh, that's right, yeah. I bet, like, if you go to primary school, especially if you've got long hair, and if you go to primary school, you end up with nits. I've never had nits. One of the grandkids gets nits. All the women of the family have to wash their hair with that bloody awful stuff. Not me. Better see them if they're wandering around on mine, wouldn't I saved myself a fortune in haircuts, really, because now I don't even know how much it is. I stopped going to the barbers when I went there, and it took me longer to queue up than it did for him to cut it. How was that? I look 50 now. Well, I'm 59. Just coming up 60 this year. It's even better to be bald, less skin problems, just rinse and dry your head. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. You just sort of walk into the shower, use the shower gel for all areas, and off you go, doesn't it? It's always the bums with hair like they're in their teens. Yeah. I think though with that, if you grow it scruffy, then it's a tangle of it, so it doesn't you can see it. What about vitamin D? I never tried anything. I've never had any interest. My dad had the same thing. Both my brothers have got a similar haircut to mine, and it was never a thing in our house. We never worried about hair loss. You know, I mean, I think nowadays sometimes it's vanity, isn't it? Right, here we go. Next question. See if you can answer it. Add a QA sticker. A new skill you want to learn instantly. There you go. Tell us all what a new skill you want to learn. And let's discuss it. I don't know. People have hair transplants, don't they? But God, why would you want to put yourself through all that? You know, I don't think, especially nowadays, you know, people don't worry about having long hair, do they, or having hair at all? I don't know any women that don't like bald men. You know, it's something I've never heard. I've never ever heard a woman say, "Oh, well, I wouldn't date a guy that's bald." I mean, I've been married for 41 years, so I don't really think it counts for me. But my wife's never said, "Oh, well, I don't like your hair like that." You know what I mean? Is it normal to have a lot of hair in your ass? I don't really think you've got a choice, have you? I don't think you've got a choice where it turns up. Vitamin D is used as rat poison in higher doses. Same chemical. I am done with all the supplements. They're just as dodgy as. Yeah, exactly. Certain things, zinc. Zinc, I think, is it zinc? Which is good for cramps. My wife has suffered all our married life. She'll be fast asleep in bed, and then she'll jump out of bed, and she's got cramp in her feet. And I can't remember what tablet was it magnesium? I can't remember what it is, but they've told her to take this particular one, and she stopped suffering with cramps in the middle of the night. So that's got to work out, hasn't it? But I never think about supplements. I never think about anything. I'll be honest. The only thing I take every day is high blood pressure medication and a thing for the acid in my stomach. But that's life, isn't it? As you get older, you sort of destroy the flap at the top of your stomach by eating junk food all the time. What's in? I can't. What's rat poison? Bloody. I suppose it must be mixed up with the other stuff. What's the other stuff that's in there? Warfarin. It used to be warfarin, didn't it? Rat poison, because the idea is it thins your blood out that much, it gives you an heart attack and you die. That's why when you see a rat that's been poisoned, it's usually got a red dot on its posterior, because basically it's bled out. But they maybe put a vitamin D in there to accelerate it. I don't know. Should do an all bloody awful things. Well, the cat's still not very well. I don't know what's going on with him. He went out the other night and came in and had a crap in the house. He's never ever done like this. KK, mate, nice to meet you. Any advice before I go? Chill out. Don't worry about your hair. Just keep yourself nice and clean. If you meet a woman that's worried about it, I mean, obviously, if you're scruffy and smelly, you can understand that. But if you meet a woman that's too worried about your looks, she's probably not for you. And vice versa for a woman with a man. Really, if it's all superficial and you've got to look just right, then you don't really want to be with them anyway, do you? Because just imagine if you're a pretty young woman and you get with a bloke. As you get older, you're probably not. Your looks are going to change to an older version of you. I think that's the best way of saying that without getting shot. So if you get somebody who's into the superficial, then you're going to have problems when you get older, aren't you? My wife's just got more beautiful, to be honest. And she looks different to what she did when I first met her, because she's 41 years older than that. But she's just beautiful. She's just lovely. I guess I'm joining the gay community. Well, whatever floats your boat, mate. If that's what floats your boat, then crack on. Good evening, the fantastic, lovely Mike. If you want to know anything about image, about how to get women, you need to talk to Mike. He's the man. He's our resident, guru on everything to do with the relationship side of things. Probably. Yeah, then he can show you how to dance. But other than that, I can't really give you any advice. I think the best advice in the world is to be nice to people and make sure they're nice to you. How's that? There you go. We don't charge for these tutorials. Did you watch that one yesterday, mate? You weren't in there, was you? The one with the when I went bike riding. I'm just saying today, it's the 480 views that bloody videos, huh? And I hardly spoke, so I'm probably talking too much in the lives, and that's why people stop watching. I just need to go for a ride on my bike. I will show you this. I don't know if you can read it. It came out of that dodgy advent calendar that Lou bought me. And you look inside here, look. Hey, I wonder if I can actually make it do it. Because I can turn it round, can't I? And there it is. There's my last one. How cool's that? Anybody needs it, you can borrow it. That's brought 11 people in anyway. People are just desperate to look at my last fuck to give. I've just ordered the new Blade X dartboard to replace my Blade 6 darts. Oh, darts is your other passion. All right. I've never been a game player of anything, really. We've just got Sky Sports back for it, so hopefully we might be able to watch a bit of Formula One this next year. But I was never in often enough to actually see it, but I should be able to. I like that. I caught it in HD once. It's a Windmow. All right, is that the brand? I've never. I've seen them. I've seen them. So it's just something I've never done really. I've never been when I used to go to the pub, I used to sit there and chat to people. I don't know what you're supposed to do with this. You didn't want to shut up again, yeah? Bloody thing. Bloody thing. Is that it? Got it. Done. I sleep a lot during the day. That's why I miss most lives. It's nights when I'm wide awake. Yeah, I since I stopped drinking, I suffer with a lot of insomnia. And for some reason, I put the eating on tonight because Thursday night's one of the worst of them because Sue's not here. So I come in and it's usually cold and I think, oh, it's too late to put the eating on. And then I get to bed. And then I woke up last week and I was literally shaking. I was that cold. And in the end, I got up about 4:30 and switched the heating on and sat in front of the radiator until I warmed up. And then I went back to bed and got to sleep. But I had about an hour's sleep. And then, of course, then you go to bed at 5 and 6 in the morning. You can't wake up by 11. The new Blade X is the new TV board for the World Champion. Oh, brilliant. Are they a lot of money then, mate? No, obviously, I don't want to be nosy. If you don't want to tell me to get off. But I presume there must be, if that's why they're advertising them on there, because that'll be a sponsorship deal, won't it? What they're made out of? Did they used to be made out of hog hair or something like that, all done sideways so the darts will go in? Was that not true? No, it's not too bad. Not too bad, is it? I thought you were going to say 500 quid or something like that. Because normally branded stuff like that is a fortune, isn't it? So hopefully I'll be able to sizzle. What's that mean? Sizzle. They're made out of sizzle. You've lost me, mate. Sorry. Hey, we had some pork for tea last night. I've just had a great chunk of it for my supper. It was lovely. I'll have to get the cat some when they let him back in. Poor little bugger. I don't know what's going on with him. Do you know when you have a pet and you absolutely adore them, and you sort of sense that they're not very well, but they're not very well enough to take them. Oh, Sizel. Well, double. I was nearly call it Z. Talked to too many Americans. Sizel. Sizzley. Anyway, what is that then? What is it? Because they used to use hogs there, didn't they? And obviously they're all laid down sideways, so it give it that to get it in. So I don't know. I have no idea. How many we going? 5? I can remember when I used to, in the heady days, there used to be 40 people in our chat. Right. Good evening, Mohammed Nayaz. How you doing? Nice to see you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my How to Get a Woman channel. That's right, exactly. Any life update? Yep. Be true to yourself. Always be nice to people. And don't let anybody be nasty to you. Yeah, life advice. Yeah, that's it. Always make sure that you're nice to people. Make sure that people are nice to you. If you get in a taxi, make sure you're really nice to the driver and always leave a tip. How's that? How about that? Answers in the comments. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you were telling me last night at 2 o'clock this morning. I was listening to Benny's show and it kept going beep, beep, beep. I thought, what the hell's that? There might have been 40. Hang on. I'm forgetting what I'm doing tonight, to be honest. You're going to get married in the next week? I'm a veteran at being married. I've been married 41 years. So there's some life advice. Respect your wife, but always make sure she respects you. Oh, well, respect your husband then. But always make sure he respects you. Well, I don't know what you should do if you're... I see you're doing a lavender, are you? Are you going to marry a woman even though you need to marry a man? Well, just marry a man then. That's what we do here. If you love men, you just go out and say, hey, man, I love you. You say it. That's what we call it over here, lavender marriage, which means that, well, what you need to do, does she know? You need to sort of let her know, really. Well, you need both. Well, there you go then. Crack on. You've cracked it. You've already got a wife and you can pop out and... But it'll cost you a lot of money if you get caught. I don't know. I think Mohammed is. He can play anything, by the looks of it. Just both things. All right. Oh, well, you've got no chance here, really. Mick Purlees. What's that to me? What have I done? Mick Purlees. All right. I don't know. I'll tell you what. I think you're going to be miserable all your life, Mohammed. I mean, if I was... so if I don't think you're going to be a good partner in life to anybody, really. And her for my kitchen duty. I'll tell my wife that when you get him. So get in that kitchen and do your duty. You won't get that with a Western woman because she just hit you with a pan. Man, that hurts. Well, I should hope it does. I think it's them that need life advice, not you. And it would probably be run to the hills. That's probably what it would be. I need a man to send me money and a wife to do me cooking. And tell you what, I would call that narcissistic. That's what I would call that. But obviously, it's none of it's true because you won't be on the internet with no avatar asking a guy you've never met before about whether you should marry your wife because you're gay. How is the lovely Louise doing? She's coming up to another scan, so it's a little bit like that. It's a little bit like that. But she lost a little bit of weight a couple of weeks ago, but she had that bug that everybody's had. So we're a little bit, obviously, you're concerned anyway, but she goes soon. So hopefully everything's going to be all right. It's a bit torturous, to be honest. You're looking for a porn shit, eh? You're looking for a punch. If you say, yeah, exactly. Yeah, if I said that to my wife, get in that kitchen. Show me tattoos in your hands. Then you're going to say, what does it say? Then you're going to say, why did you put that on your hands? That one says Lou and the other one says the F word, obviously. There you go. What does it say? That one says fuck. And that one says Lou. Because that's my daughter and she's got breast cancer. Well, she started with breast cancer and now it's gone on to stage 4. And that's what the ribbon's there for. And when I found out she was stage 4, that was the first word I said. Well, yeah, I wish I'd never had to have them, that, but I do a bit of reviewing from Amazon, and I have to make sure that I don't get that one in the camera because, yeah, well, that's it. No, good. But that's why they're there. I've had 1 or 2 people get in the camera and say, what's an old guy like you had his fingers tattooed for? And when you explain, they go, yeah, that's pretty cool. I did it because sometimes you write what's in your mind on your body, don't you? And that's why I had it done. That one was when I first found out she got breast cancer, and it was I don't know, it was like a solidarity or a, I just wanted to put it. That's why I had it done so big. Because normally with finger tattoos, you wouldn't have them done that big. That's what the woman said. That's quite big. I said, well, that's exactly the way I want them. And then when I found out she was stage 4, I said to my wife, I'm going to have fuck put on my hand. She said, is that a good idea? I said, I don't know, but I'm still going to have it done. So that's what I did. And there it is. And it will stay forever. I had a particularly weird do one day, and I was going to have the C word put on my arm. I'm pleased I didn't have that done. It's probably not a very good idea for a cab driver to have that written all the way up your arm with your T-shirt on. You probably might get, I don't know what they would say about that. But I have found myself riding with the steering wheel like that, and this bloke looking at me like, she does say that on his hand. That's what you can do, mate. It's one of them, innit? You just can't do it about it. But thank you very much for your sorry anyway. Very kind of you. So we're down to 4 people. That's killed the mood. What else do you want to talk about? We could do with a... what can we do with... I need to set something up with this. We need to do something... Oh, no, we've got 3. Christ. But no dear, it'll be me soon. I don't know what... yeah, I could get a nice... I fancy having one on the back of that hand, to be honest. I don't know what I'm going to put on there, like... I don't know, some sort of design on the back of that hand. That's what I fancy. And I was going to have Sue's name on my neck as well, but I've never got on with having it done. I was going to have Susie put on my neck, but I might have that put on my arm instead. I don't know whether that'll be done or not. I don't know, but the anger seems to have, I won't say it's gone away, but it seems to have calmed. But I'd have had anything written on me at one bit. So I was going to have Charlie Hunt put on me on the inside of my arm in big letters one day, and God, it's a good job I didn't do that, really. Okay, see you. Okay, Mohammed. Hope everything in the world goes well for you. Okay, see you. You see, some people are absolutely covered in it. I ain't got that much time. I don't know. Clouds road clouds on my arm. Got it on my head. Just here. Clouds road clouds. I don't know what I'd have. So I do fancy having my wife's name put on my arm. Thing is, I'm getting to that age in my life. You know what I mean? Do you need to have your wife's name on your arm? Just go all out on a face tattoo. Yeah, well, the whole lot. Spider's web all over my face. And you wake up the next morning, and you think, I'm not really sure about this. It's a bit late for it there, isn't it? So the only thing I have to watch out for is when I'm doing the Amazon reviews, because obviously they wouldn't want that word on their review. So I have to use this hand more than that. They might not even be bothered because they're pretty cool, aren't they? But I'd hate to send them one and say, no, we can't upload that video that's just took you ages to make, because if we do, it's got that swear word in it. But, I suppose they might think about that, but I don't know. What percentage of your punters pay cash for their rides? Just depends what time of the month it is, believe it or not. It's the same as if you get month end, they usually play on card, or a £10 note or a £20 note. As you start to get sometimes to the end of the month, especially January, you get a lot of people going, "Oh, I think I've got some change here," and you can tell they've emptied the copper jar. I do, on average, probably a third, probably, maybe a bit more, between a third and a half, I think. But so there's some weeks you just don't do any cash. I have to take money off out of the card account to pay myself. So you get me Everton crest on your right upper arm soon. Oh wow! See, I don't follow football. I'm not. We've got two Susies, but my youngest granddaughter's name is spelled with a Z. Whereas I've always, it's like my nickname for my wife. Her name's Sue, and I've always called her Susie. And if I ever write anything down, like on a birthday card, I always put Susie, Susie. But my youngest granddaughter spelled Suzy. And they decided that they were going to call her something else, and then when her mum got poorly, that's why they called her it, which I thought was pretty cool. You won't believe it, really. She'll be 3 in September. And no, she won't, because her birthday's in August. She'll be 3 in August. The years just disappear. I mean, the second to youngest one, she'll be 6 this year. The eldest one, she'll be 20 in June, 22nd of June. A third to a half. That's encouraging news. I thought it would be much less. No, it's not. No. But I say there's sometimes as you get to month end, it's weird because you can see trends really, because you'll get to Christmas time and it's obvious people have saved up. They've been putting money away for it because that's, you'll get, because you imagine that they're going to all spend on card. But I think what they do is they get the presents on card or out the bank account, and then they use the spending money when they're going out and that what they've saved up. But we do all right. It's good for me, to be really honest, because they've shut my bank. So, and you've got to put your money in the bank. So card machine goes in the bank, and usually the cash is fueling my wages, normally. Youssef KB, how you doing from Morocco? Nice to see you. Thank you for coming in. You guys need to put an avatar on there. You need to put a little picture of yourself so we know what you look like. Where are you from then, Timmy? You're obviously UK, aren't you? Are you local or miles away or? I was watching Tim Down the other day, and I think Foggy went on and he says, "If I don't get to 1,000 this year, I'm gonna pack it in." I says, "Oh, you don't want to do that." Everybody says, "Don't do that, Foggy. You're doing a good job." I've just got another subscriber, and then another one's left, and blah blah. I tell you what, I watched a really good video from an 80-year-old American guy the other day, and it said on there, stop following the YouTube algorithm and just do what you want. You find out it's a lot easier. What proportion of punters tip? I don't know. There's a lot what don't, especially now, like, because a lot of people ain't got any bloody money. Bruce T, how you doing? Nice to see you. If you think no one comes in, pictures of my face won't help. But it's weird because you never know how, because there's 3 people in here now and it's only saying 2. So I don't think it's actually truthful. Because there's obviously Bruce, you and Timmy, and it's only saying 2 on my end. So I break all the rules really for live streaming, because what you're supposed to do is set one up hours before and then do an intro and all this sort of thing. Whereas I just go, right, let's go live. And whoever's about comes in. And that's the way it works, isn't it? Because I can't, if I set one up and I get working late or something like that, it's wasted. So I just, you've got people sat there waiting for you to come on, and you're not going to come on. So I just fire it up when I can, really, which is what I've always liked doing it. So I get the urge, and I want to go live, and I want to talk to people, and that's what I do. Thursday nights I do like to quite do one on a Thursday night because there's only me in. You wouldn't really want to come in the house if Sue was in bed, sat here shouting down a microphone. I don't think she'd be that chuffed by that. How long have we been on? Bloody hell, 45 minutes. When I first started live streaming, I pressed go live and then just sat there like, and I thought, right, what are you going to say? And your head just goes to a muddle. And after about 5 minutes, you're like, God, I can't think of a thing to say. What I sort of found was when I was doing the e-cig stuff, you always leave stuff surrounding you. And then you just pick up a prop, and start talking about that. Like this. That's an extension from a microphone. Is the Benidorm trip the lads or Sue? It's with the lads. Hey, come in, Bruce. We're off early Feb. Just for 4 nights. So I don't drink anymore, but I found out they do a thing called Freedom, and there was a Heineken Zero, I think. There was a few different beers, but I just drink them. If you want a good channel recommendation, it's UK MTT, UK Meet the Tyrants. Mark is a legend and really funny. It's one of those Odyssey channels, super talented man. I might have a look. I don't really do a lot of auditing channels now because I tend to feel sorry for the person that they're annoying, to be honest. I mean, it's easy, isn't it? If you're a business owner and somebody comes to audit your property, if they're stood on your property, then they're trespassing, and you say, right, get off. But if they're not trespassing, you just say, right, yeah, you know the law, and so do I, so I'll leave you to it and walk off, and then there's got no content, are they really? If you have Netflix, watch A Pray Before Dawn. It's good. It's Billy Moore's Thai boxing. Right, I'll have a look at that. I will have a look at that. I like Billy. I think he's a good lad. Was he in prison in? What did you say? Was he in prison in Thailand? I didn't know he was in the Thai prison. I didn't even know he'd been in prison, to be honest. I knew he'd had trouble with drugs, didn't he? Did he have trouble with drugs? Yeah, slowly warming up. Yeah, I was watching Nigel the other day, and they had a beautiful sunset. But I was listening. I don't know. I'm not in a Tenerife group, but it come up on Facebook. That suggests these group. And they were saying that Tenerife, somebody had been there 8 weeks, and they said they'd had loads of storms, and they'd had quite a few storms, and it was much cooler than it normally is at this time of year. But I went to Spain about 5 years ago, and we had 20 degrees in January, 21, 22. It was beautiful, and they ended up with a water shortage. But I think that year they were going to end up with a water shortage, but it rained the whole of March. They had a massive, massive Kalima all of March. And it wrecked everything. The rain was that strong. It damaged. My mate had all his garden set out nice, and it ruined it. But then I think the following year it didn't rain in the winter, and then did end up with the water shortage. He's completely turned his life around. He was a rumman. Right, I didn't realise. I knew he was. He does have a lot of sympathy for the addicts, doesn't he? I mean, there's that particular one they call him Turbo, but I can't remember his real name. And him and Charlie Beach used to fall out all the time. And I think he's had something to do with getting him cleaned up, and he looks just a completely different fella. They sort of call him Crutchy and all, didn't they? Watch all of his YouTube content. He did have a drug and drink problem. Now he's 8 years sober. Anthony, that's right. Yeah. Whereas him and Charlie Beach used to fall out, didn't they? But Charlie Beach has gone away from there now. I remember Charlie Beach when he used to be with what was the other guy called? I can't think what they called him now. But he pops up every now and again. He's never got really massive. And he used to walk around with a megaphone telling everybody how life was good. Oh, God, it'll come to me in a minute. Danny Shine, that's what they called him. And I can't remember what his channel was called, but it's Danny Shine. He was a lovely guy. And that's the first time I saw Charlie Beach with him, and then obviously went off doing this auditing thing. But he's come out of Manchester, hasn't he? Because they're all trying to kill him. They've actually had threats on his life. He's very good at what he does. But, you know, it's like there's some of them. There's that other guy, that Curtis bloke, and he's got a conviction, hasn't he, for nonsense. He's got a sexual conviction anyway. And he's stood there having a go at people, and you think, you're a rum lad. I don't know. I don't know if he is one. I don't think he's scammed anybody, has he? His ex-wife she's got a YouTube channel, and she spends her entire time rubbishing his reputation, saying that he's got, you know, that he's whatever. But according to the police, there's no proof that he is one of them. I don't know. Paid by dark forces to, you know, up tip the system. I don't know. Charlie, Charlotte. Is his name Charlotte? Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? Knowing now what I know about blokes that are narcissistic and abusive, they've never done anything wrong. They've never upset anybody in a relationship or anything like that. So, you know, I don't know. I say, I speak as I found out. I've never met the guy, and I like a lot of his content. Although I did start to get to pull away from watching the stuff from Manchester because you know, I don't think that it's difficult, because if you walk into a crowded room and it's full of addicts and they're abusive to you, then you're going to be abusive back. And they had sort of took over Piccadilly Gardens. They were just all sat around there drunk, abusing people and scrounging money, weren't they? It's an Israeli shill. I don't know. Allegedly, we have to say. No, I don't know. I say I don't. He looks, you know, he sort of follows the Jews, doesn't he? He's interested in the Jews. So I don't. Hello, Frankie Jazz. How you doing? Frankie Jazz, 24/7. Thank you very much for being there. So I say, I don't know. I just quite like watching his content, especially now he's walking around places and just showing you stuff. But I don't know. I tend to stay out the politics side of it anyway, because you can always be upset by somebody, can't you? Crocodile Gardens, that's what he calls it. Yeah, and it looked like some sort of dystopian hellhole, didn't it, really? And if you're walking around filming it, there's other, you know, and then they got the other people that were wandering up and down the street just every week doing another protest about somewhere that's not even here. It must be annoying for shopkeepers when they've got all them people wandering past, shouting at the top of their voice and screaming every week. You know, it gets to the point where it must be hard to be sympathetic with the cause that they're trying to put out. I don't know. Can I be any more on the fence, really? Because I say I don't know anything about it, and I don't, you know, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not that deep into it. I certainly won't sit there and watch hours and hours and hours of it, because it would just blow your mind, and you can't do anything about it anyway, can you? How are you, Frankie Jazz? Are you doing all right? Thanks for popping in. It's a bit of a late night sort of stream. I just, you know, sometimes I come on and sometimes I don't, but today I did. This week I've been live 5 times, I think. The watch time hours on the channel were just dropping off, and I thought, well, and I thought, I wonder why they're dropping off, and I thought, well, you haven't been live. You just haven't been live. I don't know, weren't me, go, yeah, well, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, well, it's easy, isn't it? You can be hypersensitive to everybody's cause and feel that you've got to join at least something to have an opinion. But I'm quite happy to not have an opinion on it. I'll be really honest. And sometimes I think if you want to go and protest about something like that, go and do it somewhere else. You know, in the place that you're supposed to be protesting about it. Because people that in the businesses in the centre of Manchester probably don't want to hear you walking past shouting your head off every week. And they are quite nasty and quite violent. Some of the people that are, on both sides that are protesting. So, excellent. I'm pleased you are. I'm in the kitchen, yeah. Yeah, I've just decided I've got it warmed up down here. We don't have an heating upstairs, believe it or not. When they built these houses, they thought that the heat would rise. And since I started on this bloody blood pressure medication, I'm always cold. So I've got it warmed up down here, and it's lovely. But if you go up in my room because the door's been shut, it'll be cold in there. And if I get too cold when I get in bed, I can't sleep, and I don't seem to be able to warm up. So whether it's the pills, I don't know. But I've lost a bit of weight, lost quite a bit of weight. So it might be that. It could be that. I suppose we better pack her off, really. What have we been on? Nearly an hour? Well, message retracted. What you message retracted? What you're retracting messages for? That's Frankie, and he likes jazz. Anybody else like jazz? I've got a massive scope for music, from Beethoven's Fifth to Motorhead to Metallica to some classical singers, even to, what was that Scottish woman that won? Not Elaine Page, the other one. Susan Boyle. Anybody that didn't have a tear in the corner of her eye when she opened her mouth and sung that for the first time, that from La Miserable. Thanks, Mick, always a pleasure. See you, mate. Catch you soon, mate. How are you going? Yeah, I am going to go as well in a minute. I thought maybe Frankie didn't realise it was late. Didn't want him. His noggin working. There's some good stories from Crackerdilly, yeah. Yeah, there is. I look for positive ones, to be honest. I've got a lad that struggled with them for a long, long time, and he's ended up destroying his mental health. And when you see the level of misery that dealers create, and the people that take them as well, for everybody around, I just think, God, if you could manage to avoid not to be having any of them in your life, it'd be better. And we are addicts too. Yeah, exactly. Was just looking for new fluid there, but we'll have to wait till morning. Ah, right, yeah. Catch you later, Bruce. Nice to see you, buddy. Yeah, we're all addicts, aren't we? With nicotine, alcohol, chocolate cake, caffeine. Everybody's always got something where you think, well, I'll feel better if I do that. I've got quite an addictive personality. When I first started vaping, John Science POV. How you doing? Nice to see you. When I first started vaping, I had to have one. I'd go and buy a device for quite a bit of money. Go back the next week and buy another one, exactly the same in a different colour. Different coloured handle, different coloured tank. And then I'd go back the next week and buy another. And I'd have them all lined up. And I had no real reason to buy them. Just, and I used to spend an absolute fortune. And it was a waste of time, really. And I'm sat here now, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm at my kitchen table. I've got 5 of them in front of me. There'll be some more somewhere. And, pointless. You only needed one, didn't you, really? Not Swan Serenity anymore. Well, what was you before? You put science in there, didn't you? Are you going to teach us all about science? I started on Instagram last night. I do that every now and again. And I realised I've got over 7 scenic. That's it. Is that what it says? Scenic. It's these glasses. Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course it is. Birdman of Alcatraz. Where's that come from? Let's talk about random things. What was I on about? Oh yeah, I decided to start on Instagram last night. Well, I didn't realise how many people actually follow my account on Instagram. I've got over 1,800 on my Instagram, and I thought, well, but the name was slightly different, so I changed it to what it is now. I can't think what it said. It said "Walking with Mick," but it got a little hyphen at the end of it, so I took the little hyphen off, and it went up by another 20 overnight. And I thought, well, you can get a blue tick on there, can't you? But it's 11 quid a month, or you can do that and the other. Because I've got a Facebook account what says Mickey Love on it, because it won't let you put "Walking with Mick," so I don't know where. And I put something on it once, and it kept the name, and I just left it like that. And I've got quite a few people. There's 3,200 people on there. I'm confusing people with the name change. Well, no, just leave it. Just do what you want. It's yours, isn't it? Eventually, it'll just be what it is. The thing is with it, it's like anything. If you started in business, and now I'm not changing it. I'll just put cycling with Mick on the videos. If you start in business and you're selling mushrooms, and at the end of the first year you haven't hardly sold any mushrooms, then you need to sell something else, don't you? So you know the next. So if it don't work for you, just change it. That's the secret, isn't it? Really, don't just carry on doing it. You're proud of me for giving up alcohol? Yeah, I'm quite proud of me as well, to be honest. 14 months, yeah. Yeah, it was the 13th of November, 2024. That's when it was. On the 10th of November, or it might have been the 13th. I might be doing myself an injustice. On the 10th of November, it was my 40th wedding anniversary, and I sat there and drank the whole day, absolutely hammered. On the 11th of November, I don't think I wasn't working, because I started drinking in the evening, and I was so drunk I had a job to stand up to go to the toilet. I was literally falling over. And then it was the next day, I think. So it must have been the 12th or the 13th when I did it. And I've never touched another drop. I'm going to start a channel now, how to get women with Mike. There you go. We've already set it up. It's a working title. Just give me your opinion of how to get a woman. So, mate, it's a hard thing to do. Mick, I miss it badly. Could murder a pint. Yeah. Trouble is with me though, it's I'd gone past that. To be really honest, I wouldn't class myself as an alcoholic. I don't know, but it's open ended, isn't it? Really, you'll have people, unless you're the one that drinks at 5 a.m. They wouldn't class you as an alcoholic. But I was watching a bloke one day, because you're always, I mean, it doesn't make a difference what name you put it on anyway. But I was watching a guy one day, and he said, if you imagine it as a big hole in the ground, and people are at different levels within the hole in the ground, basically. And when you're at the bottom of the ground, that's when you're drinking at 5 a.m. and wetting yourself in the pub, and you've got your liver's just about to burst, and you've got edema, but I've got edema on my legs. My legs used to swell up, and I had like a ring around the bottom of my stomach, which was solid. So I was fairly well on with it. And the first thing that happened was, as soon as I stopped drinking, I used to go to the toilet that many times. And I think that's what I was getting rid of for a start, was this, what your liver couldn't process. And I've lost 3 stone. I lost 3 stone really quick. And then I didn't actually do it to lose weight, but it just sort of literally fell off me. I don't know what I weigh now because I stopped getting weight. Because if you don't watch it, you start doing it for a different reason. And I did it because it would have killed me in the end, and it probably wouldn't have been much longer. Because I'd got, I mean, I ain't got my other phone next to me now, but I did a video we went to Scarborough, and I don't know why I keep looking over there because you're over there. I'll put you over there and I'll look at you. I did a video. We went to Scarborough in January 2025, and then we went for a walk down the front in Scarborough, and there was me and Sue walking down the thing, and I got the camera, and my face was huge. It was like this, and it was all booze, and you could see with my eyes they were sort of sunk in, and they sort of go soft, don't they? Your eyes all go puffy and baggy around the outside, and I look slightly different now. I've got a chin and everything. Trouble is now, you see, I eat too many cakes. I love chocolate. Whereas before, I never used to touch chocolate. But apparently the sugar gives you the same releases the same endorphins as what alcohol did. So that's why you sort of go for that. So anyway, stuff it. I'll just eat chocolate. I think biscuits, dipping biscuits in it. I can't wait to see Mike's new channel. Anyway, you miss it badly. Did you? What did you used to drink though? I mean, I got to the bit where it was on the old specials and stuff like that, special brew and what's the other stuff? That Dutch one. I even I was watching on my other channel. I was doing live streams and I was sort of talking about lagers as if there was something really amazing, and basically they were all champagne. Orange Boom. Oh, look at this Orange Boom coming in at 9%. Oh, that's good. That'd be good for your liver. Well, and there's a Kestrel Super Strength. This one's slightly sweet, coming in at 10%. Must have been crackers. Now it's like Yorkshire Tea coming in at 0%. So anyway, that's that. But it can be done. If I can do it, anybody can. It must be terrible to be horrendously addicted to something, but I think and I've heard. I know when my lad was at his worst, I was talking to one of the mental health nurses. She said, "Well, what you're going to think is, why would he want to pack it in?" I said, "What do you mean?" But she said, "What else has he got?" She said, "When you pack it in, then you've got real life to deal with." And she said, "Real life for him probably isn't that much fun. He's got all this sort of voices in his head and stuff like that." Anyway, they whisked him off and put him in psychiatric rehabilitation, and they sort of helped him get going a bit. But he's definitely damaged himself. It's awful. But that's life, isn't it? Anyway, we've all gone quiet. Am I boring you to death? I'm ready for a vape. It's time I buggered off. 68 minutes, 36 seconds. That's not bad for a pop-up live, I don't think. I think we ought to call it. Tune into, here we go, Stella and vodka, but had to give up through health problems. Should have give up chocolate, though. Hang on. Should really give up chocolate, though. Diabetes. But one thing at a time. Stella and vodka. Mm. Yeah, I was, I don't know, I used to, well, I was explaining to my daughter, when you're an extremely heavy drinker, the way it works. Are you really, Mike? Bless you. Well, bless you. That's all I can say. I'll just say it one more time. Bless you. Yeah, the way you drink it as a really heavy drinker, and you probably know this, and John Paul, and Mike certainly will. It's how much you can get in. That's the way it works, isn't it? That's the way it worked for me anyway. It's how much you can get in, whether it be Carlin. So I'd set off and I'd have a. I can't stop us laughing. I always remember that, Mick. That's a Bernard Manning quote. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, that's it. I do laugh. Yeah, but the way it worked out for me, that you'd probably I'd have sort of 10, 12 cans of. Uh, I had a fridge at the back, and it was a fridge freezer that come out of here, so it was really good. It really kept it cold. But I used to get loads of special brew, and I'd have it in there, or a case of that other stuff, that blue one. I can't think what that was called. That was about 8.5, 9%. So what I'd do, I'd start off with one of them, and then I'd have another one of them, and then think, right, I'm just getting a bit too over the here. So I'll have a Carlin just to bring me back down a bit. Bloody hell! That's I used to do a 1 3/4 though. Believe it or not a day, but if I aimed a bottle of a litre of vodka, I had a job to get the top back on it, and I'd say it would be a litre and 3/4. And I, you got work the next day, and that it's just crazy, isn't it? Kind of speckle, especially, yeah. Oh yeah. So I'd do that, and then I'd keep having a few Carlins till I come down a bit, and then and in the end, like it'd be 3:45 in the morning, and I'd be absolutely shit faced, and I'd think, I reckon I could get another one in, and then I used to, I'd think, well, I don't think I'll manage especially. I'll have a I'll have a Carlin instead, and then I'd like. There was one night we were in Spain, and I was sat there, and it was 9%. It was a 9% IPA you could get from Lidl, and it was a decent beer, to be fair. Because with the beer tax being cheaper over there, it was only that 120, 130 a can. And it's that steam brew stuff that they sell over here. But you can only really get the strong stuff in Portugal and Spain. And I was supping that with Jack Daniel's Chasers. And my daughter said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm just having a few drinks. I'm on holiday." She said, "All right." And we just carried on doing it. And I was there supping away at this 9%. And then I go, just knock another one back. But God, I never stopped having hangovers. You'd have thought, really, with the amount I used to put away, as other people do when they drink that much. Obviously, people in here even. You think, well, you probably, you won't get an hangover. But God, I used to be hanging out my arse. I'm a changed man now, and I still do meetings. Bless you, I didn't know that. I never went to a meeting. I nearly did. We were on about it. But I thought, well, I can't go in this town because I won't be very anonymous because it's a small town and I've worked here 30 years. And I thought, well, do you want people knowing that stuff about you? Anyway, we decided we won't bother. Anyway, as it happened, a few months after that, I just stopped anyway. Yeah, that's right. You are. Yeah, obviously you are. Yeah. If you were Scottish, it'd be Castlemaine 4X. There's a bar in Benidorm, and it's owned by a Scotsman, and it's where TikTok Nigel works, and they've got tenants on draft. The name of it will come to me in a minute. It's in the old town. Yeah, well, that's me now, isn't it? That's all I drink. And obviously, there's alcohol-free drinks now, and I've got Louise bought me some at Christmas, to drink on Christmas Day. So I drank them on Christmas Day. But I've got out the habit. I didn't want to replace the habit of drinking alcohol for drinking non-alcohol, if you know what I mean. So occasionally I'll have a Guinness Zero or something like that. I've even got some Zero Gin, and to be honest, it's really nice. If you have a couple of them, they're really nice. But I've only ever had a couple of them because I don't want to get back in the habit of, because the next thing is, oh well, I'm really enjoying these. I might as well have a full fat one now, isn't it? So that's it. I didn't know that about. Well, the thing is, it's nothing to do with me anyway, Mike, is it? But you've obviously done really bloody well. Yeah, well, that's it. That's exactly it. I come in the other day. My mum's fell down and broke her wrist. How's the back? Great. I went out on it yesterday. My mum's fell down and broke her wrist. I can't think something else, and it's things that have got nothing to do with drinking. And I said to Sue in the end, I said, I reckon I'm going to have one. She said, well, it'd be better if you didn't. I said, I've just completely and utterly had enough to that. I said, I wish I'd never stopped drinking. I said, I would just get hammered. She said, well, it's up to you what you do, but, it'd be better if you didn't. Anyway, off she went to bed, and I never had one. So there you go. It's brilliant, John. I really enjoyed that bike. I did a live stream yesterday for a couple of hours. UKMTT. What's that mean? Oh, that thing. Yeah, I went out on it on Monday. I went up to Beckingham and then come back down the dual carriageway. Yeah, I am. It's just, it's like we're saying with Mike, triggers. There's just triggers every now and again. And there'll be 10 things at once that get on your nerves, and you think, I could just get pissed. That's all I want to do at this second. I just want to get pissed, and then it'll go away. And so far I haven't. So that's that. You know what I mean? And you just get really mad with yourself, and you're just fed up, and you would do absolutely anything, to just get drunk. You just want to get, but you don't want to get drunk. You just want to get off your head. That's what you want to do. You had a straight through illness, was in hospital for 3 months, and that was it for you drinking. Yeah. You know, I poisoned myself in Gran Canaria. UKMTT was Bill in his last video. Well, let's have a look. Yeah, I poisoned myself in Gran Canaria. Ended up, I thought I was going to die. In fact, when you poison yourself with alcohol, you wish you could because you feel so ill. That was one thing I did. And I stopped for a month after I come back from there. Then I just carried on after that. Just carried on. Yeah, that's your dad too, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of people. I lost my sister-in-law to it at 48. She just couldn't stop. We used to say to her, go to a meeting, go to a meeting, go to a meeting. No, I don't want to go there. And she made her mind up it was time to go, and off she went during COVID. So she ended up in a hospital in her room. Yeah. See, I'm 60 this year. PTSD from the army. Yeah, that's it. Whereas my dad's never. No, there ain't no help, is there? No, they just you send a guy who's just you're just a flesh, aren't you? And they're just a human being, aren't they? And they just send you off to somewhere, and then when you come back, if you do anything wrong, they'll lock you up for it. It's crazy, isn't it? He was lied to, yeah, probably was. He used to shake, but I never got the shakes, Never got the shakes. The only thing what I did get was when I stopped was itching. Oh, thanks, John. The only thing I did get was itching. I was itching, and I've still got a bit of insomnia, and it drives me fucking mad, to be honest. Because I've never had insomnia, because obviously he was always drunk, or hungover or something like that. So I've never had any trouble sleeping. But oh god, your head starts off, and it's just really torturous. Anyway, we sound like we're moaning, but I think it's surprising, how many people are like it. It's just one of them, isn't it? I look brill. I look better. Yeah. I don't know. I've never got. I'm pleased. I'm 14 months in. That's all I'll say. That's the only thing I can say about it. Because when I first stopped, it's all I thought about. And I think it's like when you first stop smoking, you're that excited that you've done it. It's all you ever think about. No, it's like, oh, I've stopped. Do I have a filter on? Probably. That's what I really don't like. No, I ain't got a filter on. I did actually press it when I first come on. I don't think it makes any difference, does it? I can't see any difference. That's what I look like in real life. The thing is, the lighting's too good in here because it's all real sharp lighting up there. Yeah, well done to you, Mike. Definitely more well done to you. We'd have probably had different conversations if I'd known about that. Mick is Chinese without the filters. I'm looking a bit wide. I usually have some brownish sort of tan at this time of year because we normally go to Spain, and Get a bit of a top up 10 in January, but Chinese. No, I'm not doing that. No, I better not do it. But I certainly look a lot better. I don't know if I can. Well, you'd have to look back on this channel anyway. If you look back on this channel, there's them videos when I was in Scarborough, not this year, but last year. There's what I say. I've got a right, I've got a massive face, and I looked into my eyes. To be honest, when I looked at it yesterday, and you can see my eyes. They're just all sort of distant, and I don't know. I looked ill. I looked really bloody ill, to be honest. I needed a filter that day. I'll see if I can. Where's my phone? I'll find it. Let's have a look. I'll show you. Tell you what, these iPhone 15s are good, aren't they? Where are the keyboard warriors? They're probably all drunk. We don't get them anymore. They're not interested in us. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Hang on, let me find this Instagram. Let's have a look. Oh, I've got another like. I'm a proper like or me. I'll show you a few of them. That's Lou when she was younger, look, when she's about 15. That was the day I had that tattoo done, my first one. Let's have a look. See if I can find it. What happens? Wrong. Press the right thing. It worked better, isn't it? Maybe, baby. Why can you never find things what you're looking for? Here's one for you. That's a bee eating a piece of ham. A wasp, should I say, eating a piece of ham. Does that come from meetings that I'm mate? Anyway, I can't find the bloody video now, so that's the end of that, isn't it, really? I've 1,793 followers I've got now. So it's working. I'll have to show you another day. All right. Not saying no. Oh, hang on. John, now Simon has been threatening to make you a madras for a while now. That'd be all right, wouldn't it? One of Simon's madrasses. Is he working? Because he said he was. He came in the other night. I've made him a mod on now, so it shows up there. But he said he was at work. Bless him. Yeah, I like a madras. Right, I got one from the Indian. I normally get, when you get the Morrison's ones. I got one from Morrison's, and I was loving them. Anyway, I got one from the Indian, and it actually gave me a bad stomach in the middle of the night. I had to physically go to the loo. It was rough. So I've gone back to gel phrases now. It was too bloody hot for me, that. I suppose we actually went to the restaurant. I took Lou this week to the restaurant, and I said I'm tempted to have a gel phrasy, but I said I'm not going to bloody have one because I'm here, and if I don't, I'll never try anything else. Anyway, I got something else, and God, it was good. And Lou's vegetarian, so I can't think what she had. It was with uh, the cheese that they use, is it ghee or something like that? And hers was really nice. And then we got this massive, great big naan bread that comes on a hanger, and we had that between us. That was bloody good. Not bloody cheap nowadays for a takeaway. Now, well, we were in there. We only had 2 courses. Obviously, I don't drink anyway. I had 2 Diet Cokes. She only had water because since she's had the chemo, I think she doesn't have popper out. She was driving, so she didn't want a glass of wine. And you couldn't buy one anyway. You'd have to buy a bottle from the place next door. And it come to 48 quid. We had 6 poppadoms, a pickle tray, 2 Diet Cokes, 2 main courses, 2 rice, and this huge naan bread, which was like this long. But it was nice because it was so fresh. Like when you get an Indian takeaway, it's definitely 15 minutes old by the time you get it. Then you open it up, and then whereas that come out just fresh, and theirs was still sizzling. It was pretty beautiful. Lanzarote do a nice curry. I had one in Teguise down in just off from where the El Treble was. You went down the front down there, but then the trouble was they cooked with loads of red and green peppers, and it gave me acid. Moroccan Madras, I've never tried that. I do like korma, it's nice, yeah. I'd like them to do a korma with a little bit more spice in, to be honest, because I like the consistency of the coconut and that. But if they just sprinkle a little bit more spice in there, I'm sure if I asked them, they would. I can't remember, mate. It's a few years since I've been. Benidorm's good for curry, There was a curry house round the back of Uncle Ped's, and we used to go there. This was where would it have been? There was I'm trying to think where it bloody was now. It's a while since I've been there. There was a bar on the corner, and then it went down into a corner like that. And there was bars, some like big, really busy bars. And then it went. And then last time we went, they'd made a really posh bar in the corner, all sort of blue lights and stuff like that. And it was just in there. But I said they'd cooked it with a lot of red and green peppers instead of chilies. And it gave me bloody raging indigestion, to be honest. But I suppose they're cooking with what's available, aren't they? But the one in Benidorm, it's actually shut down now because that's what happens in Benidorm. Things shut down all the time. And it was just near Uncle Ped's. And that was bloody lovely. But there is some really nice Indians there. I'd like to go back, yeah. I'd like to go back with one of these fancy cameras and go everywhere. Go all over the place. Because it's just a fantastic place, isn't it? I could just drive around and film that forever. Last time I went round, I went around with a phone on a gimbal. I just imagine what you could do with a Pocket 3 or take the action cameras and go up a bloody. I could have some right fun there. I stopped smoking years ago, and then I started again. But I went and walked up a volcano on purpose, just a small one. And when I got up the top and looked down the side, you could actually walk inside it from the other side. So I went round. Gimbal walk was great. Oh, really? Right, yeah. Time's knocking up. You should come to Liverpool and film me. Well, the only time I've ever been to Liverpool was when I got on the ferry. And if you look on, I think it's on the other channel where I did that longest taxi ride I'd ever done. I'll send you a link to it. Yeah, Charles Veach in Donny, yeah, bless you. I'll send you a link to it, Mike. And I actually went and got on the ferry and then went to Belfast. And drove through Belfast and then went down to Moira and picked a guy up and then took him back. Went back on the ferry. Beautiful, beautiful. But that's the first time I've ever been to Liverpool in my life, ever. It looks lovely. I might go and knock on Graham's door and stay forever. Oh, you've seen it, have you? Yeah, I drove from here, went and it was when COVID was still on, and I had to stop in a B&B that you couldn't check into. You just got the key out the key safe and walked straight in. Yeah, you been to see Billy, Mike? Let's have a toot on this. I'm quacking. We've all got our addictions. Are you from Donny, Timmy? My grandparents. Well, my mum's from Edlington. My dad's from Conisborough. Oh, you know him? Oh, bless you. Can you get us his autograph? Yeah, of course they do. Yeah, they do. I love Donny because my mum's from there, so we used to go around the market and that. It's gorgeous. It used to be brilliant in there. That big fish bloke that used to be. I mean, it's probably changed now after all the years. Ah, you know more. Say no more then, mate. He's done really well for himself with that YouTube channel, hasn't he? He's a cracking guy. He doesn't suffer fools like, but that's fair dues. I'm not a massive fan of auditors. I think Billy, you won't class Billy as an auditor, and you probably won't class Charlie Beach as one. Now, the auditor seems to be take your drone and your camera, get on somebody's nerves for an hour, put the footage on YouTube, sell a V. It's not the buildings that are bad, it's the shops under them. Yeah. Well, they always go on about, there's a vape shop. Well, what's wrong with a vape shop? We had tobacconists for hundreds of years. Why shouldn't there be a vape shop? People want to buy vapes. Why shouldn't there be a vape shop? People want to buy alcohol. Why shouldn't there be an alcohol shop? Just the same, isn't it? There's no reason that there shouldn't be a shop there. But everybody, I think what it is though, sometimes with the EU shops, they hijacked an industry that was up and coming and turned it into something that sold disposables to kids. I think that's what it is. Yeah, there's loads of shops everywhere. Every market square's got it's full because everybody just buys off Amazon. This microphone's off Amazon. The microphone that's inside it's off Amazon. The stand it stood on is from Amazon. The phone that I'm using was from Amazon. The receiver in the phone's from Amazon. And the stand is shit from TikTok. Billy is very supportive with homeless. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is. Bully. Don't call him bully to his face. Exactly. The closure. Yeah. Right. What's this one called? I'm gonna have a look at him. It's called UKMTT. He'd be right chuffed when he finds out I've followed him. Search UKMTT. No, it's come up UK Mr. T. Ah, there we go. UK meets the tyrants.
Right, guys. In the Wilmslow area.
How many people has he got? 57,000 subscribers. It's not doing too bad. You've had to turn your volume up double. Why is that then? Is that me? I don't know. I don't know why that is. Has it gone? Unless it was when I had it turned down yesterday. I don't know. Well, you should have said so ages ago. Hang on. I think it might disappear if I do that now. That's the only problem now. I can't. I can't turn it up without going into the Memo app. Hang on 1 second. Are we back? There we go. I've just turned it up. Has it come louder? There we go. Why didn't you say that an hour ago? It'd been a lot easier, wouldn't it? I said to you, is the audio all right? All the Karens asking why it's filled with cars. Anyway, it will be able to turn it up. I don't know how it had got to that level, to be honest. I turned it down. I'll tell you what I did. I turned it down in the Memo app on my other phone. So whether it's turned it down on here as well, I don't know. So, I don't know. Because I was on the Mic Mini. Oh, I was on this one, yeah. I was on the white one. I don't know whether it turns them down all the way through, but I turned it down when I was on that bike because it was too loud now. I did ask you when I first come on, I said, is the audio all right? Oh, it seems fine. If you'd have said it was quiet, I'd have turned it up then. There's no worse, is there? You know what I'm like about bloody audio and all. You should have said, if it's quiet when I come in, say, it's bloody quiet. I can't bloody hear you. I spend all this money on microphones and then you let me go quiet for 96 minutes. Be driving me mad now when I listen back to it. So it must have turned it down when I turned it down. So if you whatever you're on, if you turn it down in the app, it must do it for the other phones. I just presumed it would be turned down in that one, not in this one. Anyway, at least we've got it sorted. That's the main thing. 96 minutes in. How many? What's that? An hour and a half? Christ. Oh, weren't that quiet? Oh, right. Is it too loud now then? I better bugger off because I'm cracking for a vape. Anyway, we've had a good chat. I've really enjoyed that. It's been smashing. See, we're perfect now. I'm going to have to stop another 10 minutes now. It's perfect. I could do with a cup of tea as well. You know, I need to get the cat to make me a cup of tea. Scuba's loud. You know, he's from the deep south. They all shout like that, don't they? He's on that Elgato mic as well. There's a thin line, isn't there? There's a thin line between going over and being too quiet. There's nothing the worse when you're turning the volume up and you still can't hear it. That's a shame, that, because it's probably ruined a good stream. I'll have a listen back to it anyway, see what it says. There's no you can do now, you see, because if you do it with a video, you just turn it up. Yeah, drinking a brew at night, yeah. I didn't used to, did I, Timmy? I used to have a big... I've got a big cup. I had a big cup, it was black in colour. I've got a white version of it here, but I don't like the white one. I bought two. I bought one for my wife. When it come, it was matte white, so it just looks like it's not been finished off. And when I broke the black one, I thought I'll use the white one, and I thought, oh, I can't stand that because the fact that it wasn't shiny, it was dry on your lips. I didn't like it, so I bought a blue one now. But I'd fill it up with tea, and then I'd sit there and I'd get the whiskey bottle out. And by the time I'd finished the whiskey bottle, I'd still have half a cup of tea left. And I'd be like licking the floor. And I'd promised myself I was only having one. Is it too loud? Oh dear. You have to turn the audio gain down when you're in the woodlands, eh? Well, I turned it down because when you're on the when you're on the bike, all you can hear is this. Whereas I've managed to get rid of that. But I used the Mic Mini on the phone on that Samsung, but I turned it down in there. So whether it's turned it all down. Is it too loud now? Make your mind up because I can turn it down a bit. -40, -6. See, on my DJI, I have it set to 0 now. Whereas I used to have it set to +5. But according to Tamara, she said if you if you want to have decent, if you want to have decent audio, turn it to -5, and then turn it up in post, which is all right when you're doing the bike ones because they're all continuous. Ah, see, yeah, yeah, yeah. But it was the gasping I was trying to get rid of. To be honest, I was looking for that sort of clean sort of audio. When I listened back to this the other day, for what it is, it sounded pretty bloody cool for a 27 quid mic. When you think, if you, I mean, I didn't pay for that for it, but if you buy one of them SM7Bs at, whatever, 2, 3, 4, 500 quid, that's basically the sound you're getting off this. Yeah, the volume, yeah. Turn the volume up in post after. But the only trouble is with that is if you're doing a lot of different little clips, you're forever doing it, aren't you? You're trying to get it right and set right and stuff like that. Whereas with the bike, you press record, and 30 minutes later you're still going. Yeah, that's it. But it's easier when you've got a 20-minute clip. You just turn it all up and it does it all, doesn't it? But one thing I've never worked out with my editing software is how to get music to come in softly. I need to look at somebody and find out how you do it. When you just want that little bit of music to come in real soft without cutting the actual recording. Because otherwise, I'm trying to think what I'm going to send here. I just up volume to 200, then add to all clips at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, well, I use a thing called Wondershare Filmora, or Filmora Wondershare. And it's really easy because I've got a rollerball mouse as well. So you're just using your thumb. And it's really easy to clip lumps off. But, I just want the music to... I can't think what I'm on about now, to be honest. I wanted to turn down under words, so I suppose you've got to click the music off and then turn it down. My Osbo Mobile 7 is collecting dust in the cabinet. It's a shame I don't use it. We want to get out there and use it, Mac. You want to go and stand at the side of the Mersey and show everybody all about the Three Sisters. And then film the ferry across the Mersey and film the ferry as he's taking off, the big one. And then you want to get on it one day and film all the way to Northern Ireland and back and pop in to see Bunny. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what I'm looking for. I know how you can get because what you do, obviously, you click on the end of the music and there's that little cursor and you pull it across like that so it sets off up like that. But what I'm stuck with doing is then turning it down again underneath your words and then for it to come back up again when you're not talking. So presumably you have to keep clicking it off and then doing that thing. But I'll find out. I want gradual gain on music during. Is it? It's not. Is it a camera, or is it? Where are we? Where's Mike? Osmo Mobile 7. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's a phone gimbal, isn't it? They're not actually that expensive now, mate, to be honest. You can get them for 70 quid off Amazon. The mobile 815, 66 quid from DJI. That's the only trouble with tech, isn't it? I mean, the one I've got at the time was about 130 quid, and then you'd pick them up for 40 now, I bet. 30, 40. Overhang on a talking clip with gradual music gain. Is that what you do? I'll have to look. There'll be somebody on YouTube that'll tell me. I think there's a thing on mine where you can just get it to do it anyway. And if you finish the video off without putting the music in and then shove it in, I use a music software, and if you put the video into the software and get it to search, it will search the music that you want to suit that video. Yeah, I don't need another one, Mac. I've got 3 bloody cameras. I never, the only thing I use the phone for is going live. Yeah, that's right. I haven't been out with the drone. Went to the weather, have we? Since I think with that one, especially with it, there are a few quid to replace, aren't they? I'm a bit more careful with that one, to be honest. It's so easy to use. I mean, first bright day with no wind, I'll be straight out with it anyway. I was looking in the DJ. There's a group for the Action 4 and the Action 5 for the Mini 4, Mini 5 Pro. There's different groups for it. A bloke went in. He said, "Why are my batteries down at 50%?" And apparently, the smart batteries, and if you don't use them for a long time, they actually discharge themselves down to 50% to protect the batteries. I probably won't use it, mate. To be fair, thank you very much anyway, but I probably won't use it. There's people more deserving of me, somebody that's on the journey, that needs something. It would be a cracking present for somebody that's, I mean, I've gone from doing nothing to walking and filming and doing all sorts of things. So if somebody could get on that journey using that would be lovely, wouldn't it? No, you don't, Mike. No, because I say it would end up stood here doing nothing because I've got one and I very rarely use that. I suppose the only time you'd ever use it if you were wanting to go live and walk about. You might want to use it. I was going to give that bike holder away, and because I kept. He is he's such a lovely guy. He's a lovely guy. I've been lucky enough to meet him a few times, and he's a lovely, lovely guy. But I say you need to keep your own stuff sometimes, Mike. He is a really, really kind guy. He's a lovely fella. I always, I try and give him things as well, but I ain't always got anything he wants. I'll have to get a big armful of stuff and take it up to him at Expo. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? I'm going to go anyway because we've been here now 107 minutes. And apparently we've been quiet for 89 minutes of it. So, need more what? Need more lives? It's because I'm the vaping god. Anyway, let's go to bed. This will be a good thing. It's 10 past 1 in the morning. Thanks ever so much for popping in. You are lovely, lovely, lovely people. It's been a pleasure to have a chat to you. I'm pleased that we'll carry on doing these because this Thursday night one is usually a pretty chilled sort of thing in it, and it gives us a chance for the idiots to all go to bed. So we'll carry on doing it. We'll catch you all soon. I'll be tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, what's video tomorrow night? I can't think. It's a bike ride tomorrow night, but I can't remember where I went. Anyway, it'll be a surprise for you. Catch you all soon. Good night, everyone. Sleep well. Hopefully you all will.